What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very exciting transfer news video because Liverpool are considering a move to sign Kvaratskhelia if he leaves Napoli in the January transfer window. Napoli are already in talks with Paris Saint-Germain and various other clubs about the transfer of Kvaratskhelia, and apparently Arne already had a phone call with Kvaratskhelia himself. Some news outlets were reporting that as well. Liverpool are of course not actively seeking a winger because we have 6 attackers at the moment, but Liverpool have a huge admiration for Kvaratskhelia, who is just 23 years old. He has been around the block for a lot of seasons now, so he's very experienced, and Liverpool are very alert to the situation. So if Kvaratskhelia is on the market, Liverpool are interested and they want to sign him. And yes, his transfer fee will be very high, potentially 67 million pounds, which is 80 million euros. That's what Napoli are asking for. But his wages won't be as high as the wages of Mo Salah or Trent Alexander-Arnold if he gets an extension, or even Van Dijk. His wages are around £140,000 per week, because right now he's earning just £40,000 per week at Napoli, which is of course for normal people like us it's a lot of money, but in terms of top footballers he's in a very low wage bracket, which means that his agent and Kvaratskhelia are looking for a transfer away from Napoli because they want much bigger contract, and Napoli are not in a great financial situation because of the Serie A. And because they are not in Europe, they can't offer Kvaratskhelia the wages that Paris Saint-Germain are offering. Apparently Paris Saint-Germain are quadrupling his salary. But Liverpool could easily match that, and he would still be not in the top 5 earners at Liverpool. So if Kvaratskhelia decides to move in this transfer window, then Liverpool are definitely interested in him. That's what David Ornstein confirmed, and he has a direct source at Liverpool. Basically what the owners and the Liverpool representatives want out in the media, David Ornstein is there the go-to guy. And Kvaratskhelia is under contract until 2027, but the lack of movement relating a fresh contract encouraged interest from elsewhere, and Kvaratskhelia and his I think his agent or his father even said at the beginning of the season that Kvaratskhelia would want to leave Napoli. PSG are emerging as the leading contenders because they have been in contact with Kvaratskhelia's camp for months, and they are now negotiating with Napoli. Of course, Napoli is in no rush to lose a player who has scored 30 goals and got 29 assists in 107 appearances for Napoli, which is almost 60 goal contributions in 107 games. That's very, very high for a very young winger. Liverpool are of course paying attention to the situation, even though we are absolutely well stocked in the left wing department. We have Gakpo, Luis Diaz, even Jota and Darwin Núñez can all play on the left wing. But when a huge talent like Kvaratskhelia is on the market, then sometimes you have to pull the trigger and go for him. And Darwin Núñez might be sold. We might send him to Napoli, or he might leave to another club in January or in the summer. Chiesa is still, we are unsure about his future at Liverpool. Hopefully he will start tomorrow against Accrington Stanley in the FA Cup. Mo Salah is still yet to extend his contract. Luis Diaz is also up for contract talks. So there is a lot of uncertainty about the Liverpool forwards. Jota is injury prone. The only 100% player is Gakpo, who is performing well. He is happy with his contract. He has a long contract still at Liverpool. So Liverpool, if we sign Kvaratskhelia in January, we will probably move on a player either in January or in the summer in the attacking department. At the moment, the most likely player to leave is Darwin Núñez because of his numbers and metrics. They got worse this season. He's getting a lot less chances and is scoring about the same rate on average that he did last season, but because he's getting a lot less chances and also he's not starting as much, he's getting a very few goals, and Liverpool are not specifically chasing a player of Kvaratskhelia's profile, but he's somebody that Liverpool admire and they are keeping tabs on, and we'll be ready to contend for it if it becomes a market opportunity. And I think that's not a question anymore if it's a market opportunity, because PSG are already in talks with Napoli, so Liverpool should work on this deal if they are serious about signing Kvaratskhelia. But that's the thing, because Liverpool don't have a desperate need to sign him, I can't see Liverpool forking out 65-70 million pounds when we still haven't extended the contract of Salah, Van Dijk or Trent Alexander-Arnold. It would be pretty weird if we did, but James Pearce, who is also a Liverpool-based, very reliable journalist, said that at an acceptable price, Kvaratskhelia's appeal is clear. Liverpool's approach in the transfer window is they will only add to the squad if a special market opportunity arises that makes long-term sense. And if Napoli were to sell a caliber of player like Kvaratskhelia at an acceptable price this month, then the appeal would be clear. Last January, Liverpool didn't sign a player, but previously, when the market opportunity arose, Liverpool were not afraid to pull the trigger. We signed Cody Gakpo in 2023 of January, Luis Diaz in 2022 of January. We also signed Luis Diaz and Virgil van Dijk in the January transfer window. The situation regarding squad planning is complicated by the fact that Liverpool don't really know what positions we need to look for in the summer, because Salah, Van Dijk and Trent still haven't signed a new contract. And Fabrizio Romano has reported that Napoli's former request for Kvaratskhelia remains around 80 million euros. That's where the 67 million pound transfer fee comes from. And I think that's pretty reasonable for a player who is hugely talented. He had a brilliant season when Napoli won the title. But since, of course, Antonio Conte became the manager, Napoli became a lot more defensive, so Kvaratskhelia is not getting that many chances, that many opportunities. He's still getting goals and assists regularly, just not at the rate as in the title-winning season. So it was revealed that PSG and Napoli are directly in talks with each other. Apparently, Kvaratskelia's camp are discussing terms with Paris Saint-Germain, and they are offering 4 times his current salary, which is 40,000 pounds per week, which would be 160,000 pounds per week contract offer. And Liverpool, I think, can match that, because that wouldn't be like too much money for a player of Kvaratskelia's caliber. Another news outlet or journalist reported that Arne held 30 minutes call with Kvaratskhelia, and after the call, Kvaratskhelia was very impressed with Arne Slot's tactical ideas for his role if the transfer was to be completed. Talks ongoing between 4 clubs. Of course, Kvaratskhelia won't just look at the wages, because all 4 clubs are big clubs. They will offer very good wages for Kvaratskhelia. It more comes down to the sporting project, and I think going to Paris Saint-Germain right now doesn't make a lot of sense, because the French league is not really competitive, and PSG also are struggling even in the Champions League. Of course, they can offer huge wages to Kvaratskhelia. Mbappe, Neymar and Messi were on astronomical wages at PSG, and all 3 of them moved on, so now PSG has a lot of room in the wage budget. But if Kvaratskhelia has real ambition, and then he would go to a very competitive league like the Spanish league or the Premier League. And I think the Premier League clubs are the most interested, apart from Paris Saint-Germain, in Kvaratskhelia. Both Barcelona and Real Madrid don't need a left winger. And Barcelona don't even have the money for it. Real Madrid already signed Mbappe. They have Vinicius Junior. So Liverpool of course could make room for Kvaratskhelia. And if I was in charge of Liverpool, I would sell Darwin Núñez. I would pay Jota and Luis Diaz as the 2 strikers. I would play Salah and Chiesa on the right wing and Kvaratskhelia and Gakpo on the left wing. That would leave Liverpool with 6 forwards going into next season. I would definitely extend the contract of Salah. I would give him a 2-year contract with another year option for Liverpool to trigger if Salah is doing well. And I would bump up his wages to £400,000, because it would be much cheaper to extend Salah's contract than million to replace him. If Salah gets 400,000 pounds per week, new contract, that would be 21 million pounds a year. For 2 years, that's 42 million. If Liverpool match Kvaratskhelia's wages that he gets at PSG, the wage offer, then Liverpool would spend 8 million per season for Kvaratskhelia. So for the next 5 years, it would be 41 million on his wages, plus if you add up his transfer fee to that, for 5 years you need to pay 110 million pounds for Kvaratskhelia. If you divide that by 5, you get 22 million pounds basically per year. That's what Kvaratskhelia would cost for the duration of his 5-year contract, so it would be even higher than Mo Salah. Yes, Kvaratskhelia has brilliant resale value. Even in 5 years he will be 28 years old, but Kvaratskhelia is getting nowhere near the numbers that Mo Salah is producing, so Salah is more valuable for less money, so it makes sense to extend Salah's contract. Kvaratskhelia creates 2 chances per 90 minutes on average. He created 27 chances, and here you can see all his chances created and assists in the Serie A. This season he has 3 assists, and his expected assists is 3.6. He gets 1 assist on average every 4 games. And Kvaratskhelia, in his first season after Napoli signed him from Russia, he won the league with Napoli and broke into, everybody's thinking with 12 goals and 13 assists. And Napoli won the league for the first time in 33 years. And of course they nicknamed him Kvaradona. And the next season, the 23-24 season, was less spectacular. Napoli slumped down to 10th place. They sacked a lot of managers during the season, so that's why Napoli are not even in Europe. This season he has 5 goals from 17 Serie A appearances, and he has 3 assists as well. Napoli are back to their best. They are title contenders again. Watching Kvaratskhelia is different from watching most left wingers because he's physically larger and stockier than most left wingers. His dribbling style is very interesting, very unique. These traits, allied with superb technical ability, force defenders into making late and hasty decisions. And he is then quick, strong, and he has generally ranked highly for carries into the penalty area and progressive carries. His attacking game also has variety. He's basically beating our wingers, Luis Diaz and Gakpo, in all the metrics except goals and expected goals. So his finishing is maybe not as good as Gakpo or Diaz, but his ball carrying ability, his chance creation, his expected assists are higher than any of our left wingers, and he's younger as well, a few years younger. Luis Diaz I think is 27 years old maybe, or 28, and Kvaratskhelia is already 5 years younger. And Kvaratskhelia can play in any system. All he needs is to get the ball, and then he can create chances on his own. He can run at the fullback, cut inside and shoot into the far corner, or he can go on the outside and cross it in. And Nicolo Schira has already reported that PSG had already reached an agreement in principle with Kvaratskhelia last June, but they are of course in talks with Kvaratskhelia to find an actual contract agreement right now, and that could be 140,000-160,000 pounds per week. And he's pretty tall, 183 centimeters tall, considering that most wingers are shorter. He has market value of 85 million euros, so Napoli's 80 million euro asking price is actually pretty reasonable. And as we talked about, this season 5 goals and 3 assists in 19 games. Last season 11 goals and 9 assists in 45 games. Considering Napoli were so bad they finished in 10th place, to get 20 goal contributions in 45 games is pretty decent. And in his first season he gets 14 goals and 17 assists in all competitions in 43 games. And Kvaratskhelia already terrorized Liverpool when Napoli smashed Liverpool 4-1. I think it was in that season where Fabinho and Henderson were just done in our midfield. So he had 31 goal contributions in 43 games in that season. So the 9 million per year euro wages comes out to 140k, but if you add that additional 2 million euro bonuses, then it comes out to around 160,000 pounds per week. And either the most likely scenario, if Liverpool manage to sign Kvaratskhelia, is that either Chiesa or Darwin Núñez will be shipped out. There is already interest in Chiesa from Napoli. They wanted to take him out on loan, but Liverpool so far don't want to send Chiesa on loan, but maybe there is a deal to be had there. If Napoli are seriously interested in Chiesa, we could soften the blow of them losing Kvaratskhelia by sending Chiesa the other way on loan. And of course, if Liverpool do end up signing Kvaratskhelia before extending Salah's contract, then that is very concerning, because that would look like, to me, like Liverpool are spending their money on the next generation of players and not necessarily wanting to extend Salah's contract. That would send the wrong message to Salah as well. It wouldn't be the worst case scenario. I said it before. If we sign Kvaratskhelia as Salah's replacement, he can't replicate Salah's numbers just yet, but he could maybe get to a 30 goal a season contribution winger, and we could spread the goals around between Núñez, Gakpo, Diaz, Kvaratskhelia. The big question is, if Salah leaves, who will play on the right wing? Maybe Chiesa will work out, but we still would need to sign a right winger as well. So that's why it's very, very tough to replicate Salah's numbers. So if I had to choose, I would probably move on Núñez, because as I said, if we move on Chiesa and not extend the contract of Salah, we will have no right wingers. And that just can't happen. And I still have faith in Chiesa. I don't think Liverpool would give up on him after just half a season where he's getting up to speed with English football. So I would get rid of Núñez. At the moment, it just doesn't look like it will ever click for Núñez. And right now, we could still get a decent amount of money for him when his stock is still very high. So let me know, what would you do in this situation in the comments below. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.